Matt Gaetz is very much against Kevin McCarthy taking over as Speaker of the House if the House does indeed get taken over by the Republican Party after all the vote counts are in. Take a look at this, and then we'll kind of give you a little bit of the dynamic playing out with Kevin McCarthy's speakership or possible speakership.
The policies Kevin McCarthy has pushed, they are as unhelpful as they are unserious. His commitment to America is predicated on the notion of using federal tax dollars to go hire 200,000 more cops. You know what? In my community, we hire our own cops and pay for them out of our own tax funds. And so if in Detroit they want to go defund the police, I don't think that Floridians should have to pay for it. Apparently Kevin McCarthy does. He also thinks we should have the Congress rate your local DA. Guess what? In Florida, we don't need anyone in Congress rating our local DAs, because when we have local DAs who don't follow the law, our governor, Ron DeSantis, removes them, as he did recently with a Central Florida DA who just said he wasn't going to enforce the law out of wokeism. So it doesn't matter to McCarthy that these ideas offend federalism and belie common sense. They did well in a poll-tested survey, so they must now be doctrine, our commitment. Weren't the pollsters wrong in this last election anyway? I have spoken with many Republicans in Congress and many who will join our ranks soon. None are actually inspired by Kevin McCarthy, though many feel financially beholden to him.
Okay, so he's trying to make the case that there's a lot of people in the Republican Party who are not on board with Kevin McCarthy, even though Kevin McCarthy wants the public to believe, and even those within his party, that he has to be the next speaker if Republicans take over the House. But it does seem to be very much in jeopardy, largely because of what is called the Freedom Caucus, the Congressional Freedom Caucus, which is the furthest right part of the Republican Party, who's saying Kevin McCarthy pretty much isn't far right enough for us, so we don't want to support him for speaker. Here's a little bit more about that. Quote, "No one currently has 2018 votes," said Representative Chip Roy, a Republican of Texas, as he emerged from a private Freedom Caucus meeting near the Capitol where members were discussing their strategy. Roy previously told NBC News he has not decided who he's backing for speaker. Quote, "I have personally stated that Kevin McCarthy has not done anything to earn my vote," added another Freedom Caucus member, Representative Bob Good. So the Freedom Caucus could be what stands in the way, as they have done before, to Kevin McCarthy's political ambitions. But not everybody thinks it's a good idea for Matt Gaetz to be going against Kevin McCarthy. A pretty conservative guy, Mark Levin, said on Twitter, "Hey Flash, Jim Jordan said on my show he won't run for speaker and is backing McCarthy. You're misleading people. Why don't you run for speaker and we'll see how many votes you get," Mark Levin says to Matt Gaetz. So I'm fascinated by what's playing out here, because the more turmoil, as we continue to say, within the Republican Party, the less unity they have as a party, the better likelihood we have to defeat them in upcoming elections and on a lot of these policy battlegrounds. Because what they've done very well in the past is, despite their differences, unify, whereas the Democratic Party oftentimes has a very hard time doing the same. Progressives feuding with moderates, and at certain points that's beautiful, exactly what should be done, but then oftentimes when elections roll around, that can actually get in the way of a unified message and hopefully unified victory. Here's Andy Biggs indicating he may run against Kevin McCarthy for speaker.
With you.
Congressman, you're being reported as the top challenger to Kevin McCarthy. Come on, it sounds like can you confirm or deny whether or not this is true? I mean, it sounds like you're almost there. Maybe you want to announce.
Lydia, we have a new paradigm here, and I think the country wants a different direction from the House of Representatives, and it's a new world. And yes, I'm going to be nominated tomorrow to the position of Speaker of the House. We'll see if we can get the job done. The votes, it's going to be tough. I mean, Kevin has raised a lot of money and done a lot of.
Okay, so Andy Biggs is gonna throw his hat in the ring and challenge Kevin McCarthy, and I can't imagine how angry Kevin McCarthy is. If you've watched his political movements over the last 4 years, it's all been in a pursuit to become Speaker of the House. And so if Republicans do indeed take over the House and he's not the guy, that's going to be a meltdown moment for him. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get access to an extra full show every Saturday that only members can see, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there is a link in the description.